This morning we're going to make some cornmeal pancakes, and as soon as I can find out what I did with my tablespoon, we're going to take 2 tablespoons of baking powder, we're going to take 1/2 cup of flour, thereabouts, 1/2 cup of cornmeal, thereabouts, and we're going to take salt, and you pretty much do this to your taste. Definitely don't want to over salt it. And then you want to take sugar, and that's just about a tablespoon. I think we'll leave it at that. And then we're going to take a whisk, and we're going to whisk it together real good. Okay, and we're going to get 1 egg out of the refrigerator. And we're going to put 1 egg in it. And I should have gotten the milk out, but I didn't, so we'll go back over. Now, cooking should be fun, so I could have put this egg in a bowl and beat it for like you're gonna beat scrambled eggs, but let's keep it fun. And once you put the milk in it, it'll help spread the egg yolk and the egg yellow, so that's no big deal. Now, you don't really need a measurement. You just start making it until you get it to the consistency that you like to cook, let's say pancakes. You don't want it too thick, you don't want it too thin. If you make it too thin, you can always add a little flour, a little cornmeal to it. It's not brain surgery. Now, once I get it to this point, what I like to do, and that's still a little bit too thick for me anyway, so we're going to put a little bit more milk in it, and then we're going to get the fork out, and then we're going to get our whisk. We're going to fold that milk in there, which doesn't take very long. I should have had the stove on with the griddle on top, but I don't, so what we'll have to do is we have to stop it. Now that looks pretty good. A little bit more mixing. Okay, and to make things easier for cleanup, we'll just take this over here and fill this up with water. so the mix doesn't dry on the beater. And we'll go ahead and put our milk away. We're not going to need that. And what we're going to do is we're going to pan around here. Matter of fact, we'll probably just move the camera over to the stove. Why don't we do that? Just bear with me. Get it over here pretty close. Okay, get it centered. You know, you gotta have it centered. Turn some lights on. Get our griddle out. Sit her right up on top there. Put it on high. You have to watch it. You don't want to burn up your griddle. Put a little bit of spray on it. And we're ready to make pancakes. So let's center this up a little bit more. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in. So I'll probably have to edit this to get some of this wait time out, but that's okay. Our pancake mix over there, or our cornmeal pancake mix. Get a plate ready. Won't take very long for it to heat, so while we're waiting for it to heat, I think what I'll do is I'll start putting some of the cooking ingredients up. Doesn't take long to clean up, not a big deal. Okay. Had our first frost last night. I believe today is the October 26th, and right now it's about 8:29, 8:30, something like that. So our first frost of the fall came this morning. I was out at about 4 o'clock out in the backyard and hadn't frost yet, but as the temperature dropped and I took Caleb to school, you could see the what we call a baby frost. It wasn't a heavy frost. It would be really frosty in one yard, and in somebody else's yard it wasn't as frosty. So it wasn't a heavy frost, but it did. There was a frost on the ground. Left our Western Hills Press in the driveway last night and noticed that this morning, so after I dropped Caleb off at school, I got the press out of the driveway and there was ice on the plastic cover. So it got pretty cold last night, or this morning, or I should say and this morning. So we're going to check this griddle out. And what we do, or what I do, I don't know if we all do it or not, I'm going to put a little bit of batter on there for a test, and that will tell us when we're ready to spoon them out. Now lately, I've been making pancakes, and I much prefer fresh pancakes over frozen pancakes. But then again, I've never made pancakes and frozen them. The only type of frozen pancakes I've had was out of the store, and they were okay, but I started making batter for Caleb before I take him to school, and I'd have extra batter, so I thought I'd try making up the pancakes instead of eating them, and then freezing them and see how they turned out. Well, they turned out good. I've had a couple, and they're really good. Now, usually they're not frozen no more than 7 days before we get them out and pop them in the microwave for about 1.5 minutes. So I don't know how long they would stay good, but 7 days is okay. And we have some in the freezer now that they'll probably be in there 15-16 days before they're eaten. So I'll let you know how that goes. Now this test is getting looks like it's just about ready. I'm starting to see the heat coming off the griddle. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put a spoonful down on one side of the test and a spoonful down on the other side of the test while we're waiting for the one in the center to be ready. And I think it's ready. Yeah, it is ready. So let's try that. That's pretty good. I think it needs a little bit more sugar in it if you're going to have it for a breakfast. If you're having it for a bread at supper, I think I'd leave it just the way it is. Now I'm sure you could freeze these, but we're really not making that many of them, so I really don't see any need in freezing them. They'll get eaten. But what I would do is I would test when you make a batch, make a little extra, and what I do is I take a quart storage bag or a quart freezer bag, and I take a piece of it's plastic quick sheet, or it's something that your neighborhood butcher uses in between. When you buy lunch meat, they'll put this little plastic sheet down, and they'll put the lunch meat on top of it. Or when they slice cheese, they'll put these sheets down. They'll put one slice of cheese, then they'll fold that plastic over, and they'll put another slice, and so on and so forth. But anyway, when I freeze them, I'll put those plastic sheets over the pancakes so they don't stick together. Now I don't know that they would, but I kind of think that they would if they didn't have those plastic sheets on it. And then when you take them out of the freezer, the pancakes, you take them out of the freezer and put them in the microwave, those plastic sheets will come right off. And also yesterday, or the day before, I'm not sure which, I put one of those sheets in the microwave, and I microwaved it for 10 seconds, and then 20, and then 40, and the microwave does not affect that sheet, so that's a good thing. And I think our 2 corn cakes are done. Yes, they are. Now, I don't believe you have to put your spray down or oil every time you make a new batch like this. I didn't when I was making pancakes. So we're going to try it with the corn cakes and see if they stick or if they're fine. Now I'm thinking right now this needs to be turned down a little bit. I'm not going to turn it down real low, but I want to get some of that heat off because they're really browning fast. You get all these bubbles and it starts bubbling all around, and that's how you know that it's ready to flip. But it can be deceiving, so you kind of watch your outside edges and they'll start drawing in and rounding out if your pancake's round. That looks good. This don't look like it's quite ready to flip, so I don't want it turning out like this. So we're going to give it another minute. These look just like pancakes. They don't taste like pancakes, they taste like corn pancakes. Let's see what it looks like. Yeah, that's better. That's better. Now I would imagine it probably took all of 5 minutes to make up that batter. With the right griddle temperature, it doesn't take that long to cook them. Turn that over a little bit more. Yeah. Now this seems to be a higher temperature than back here, and I don't understand that because we're right over the fire. Okay, now the griddle top's starting to look dried out. I don't know if you can see it in the camera. So we're going to put a little bit more spray on there. And I'll move this back one in towards the center a little bit more. Corn pancakes. I've seen, well actually my aunt years and years ago used to make this Mexican dish, and I was so young I don't remember what it was called. She was big on green peppers and banana peppers and all your pepper family, and she would make this mix, and she would make these corn pancakes, and then she'd put this mix on top of it. Well, I wasn't crazy about that combination at that age. I think I must have been maybe 12 years old or somewhere around there. Been a long time ago. Yes, I can remember when I was 12. So looks like our corn pancakes are turning out nicely. I'm probably going to start out by just putting butter on one. Won't eat too many of them. Then again, I might eat 3 or 4 of them. And now this is starting to look pretty good. Let's flip it and see. Yeah, that's a nice color. That's a nice color, and that's a nice color. So I think we got the heat adjusted. The spray may have had something to do with getting it browner also. I'm not sure. I think that you could probably email Alton Brown and he could give you the mathematical equations. But we're not into that. We're just into cooking. Now, I believe we may have two more corn pancakes, and we'll see. And then we're going to end this video. But this is how easy it is. I mean, it's no big deal. You can take a half an hour, probably. You may even include cleanup unless you got dishes left from earlier. Half an hour, you can make them, clean up, and be eating them. Let's get that off there. Cover that one up. That doesn't look, and we're going to put that one over there also. Let's look at the bottom of that. Yeah, that browned real nice. Okay, let's take a look here and see how much we got left. Okay, while those are cooking, I'm going to fill this up with water so it doesn't dry on there. Make it near impossible to clean. While we're doing that, we're going to get a knife here. And we're going to put some butter on there. Yeah, I like my butter. This isn't real butter, but that's okay. We wasn't planning on doing a video this morning. Good. Looks good. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take a bite. Yeah, that's good. Especially with this spread on it. Okay, we're going to end this video. Simple corn pancakes. We'll see you next time.